Hussbus bus stop.
JP Hussey here, owner of the Hussey Team Mortgage Advisors, with this week's
Hussbus bus stop.
Hope everybody is doing awesome. Just so you know, we have these new Hussey Team coasters. Just let us know if you want one, we'll get one out to you. They're like them, and I have a problem, according to my co-workers here, buying too many stickers, too many coasters, posters. I have a problem, guys. I have a problem. But that's not what we're talking about today. I want to talk about mortgages and real estate during an election year. All right, so like we all know, election years, no matter when it is always a crazy year. All right, media can get nuts. Watching all the TV shows, all that stuff that happens can get nuts. If you don't want to go crazy, don't watch any of it. It's my opinion. All right, and I'm not going to get into any of my opinions on this here at Hussbus Bus Stop. We're simply going to talk about how mortgages and real estates react during election years with some data. Okay? First, like we know, during those election years, things can get a little bit chaotic in terms of the markets. Okay? And in the markets, that can affect mortgage rates, and it can just affect people's mentality with buying or selling a home. All right, so let's just get right into the data, because when we show it to you here, this is over the past really 11 elections, so the past, 40-some years, all right, you can see that it really, election years don't have a huge effect on things. So let's go through this, and we keep this short and sweet, all right, because we know you have other better things to do than watch this video, but maybe not. So, let's check it out. So, home sales, all right, during an election, all right, I'm looking at the data over here. Lindsay might put some up here. I really don't know. I'm going to try and keep it simple for you. During the month prior to the election, okay, home sales really don't do much as I'm looking at this. It's very small. There's a slight slowdown just because maybe there is a little uncertainty and people are sitting around saying, we're not doing anything until we know who the president is going to be. There's a little bit of a slowdown, but it's very small and temporary. All right, so maybe we'll get some of this data up here. If you want this full article I'm looking at, happily send it to you. May even just put it right in the comments here. But very minimal. So there's a little slowdown, then it gets back to normal. All right, in terms of activity, I would say. All right, so again, home sales, okay, now this is after the election. So we know who the president is, all right? And now this is after the election, all right? 9 of the last 11 presidential elections, all right, home prices actually went up, all right? And that went up, home sales went up, because we're going to get the pricing here in a minute. But home sales actually went up. The only 2 years that they slightly went down, and it really wasn't much at all, was 1980 and 1988. All right, 84 election, it was up. All right, so the 80 and 88 election, that's when things kind of went down a little bit. And then the following year, all right, that's what we're looking at. So it sounds like that may have been the Reagan years as I'm thinking about it. I was born in 82. I think it was Reagan. Then where'd it go? To Bush. But either way, only not 2 of the past 11 elections, so over 40-some years, right, home sales dropped a little bit and then get back to normal. All right, so 9 of the 11 presidential elections, they've only gone up. All right, now let's look at existing home prices. Okay, so the first one was sales, and that was only 2, all right, out of the 11 years where we saw a little drop. This one here, 7 of the last 8. All right, so we're looking at 8 right now. All right, 7 of the last presidential elections, existing home prices. So if you own a home, the value of your home only went up. And there was 1 year where it didn't. And guess what year that was? 2008. The year after was 2009, right? We all know what happened in 2008, right? There was a bunch of crap that was going on in mortgages and real estate, and everyone's value dropped. All right? So 2008 was the only year that happened, and that was kind of a weird time. All right? Now let's look at mortgage rates, all right? Back to 11, all right? So 8 of the last 11 presidential elections, all right, leading up, all right, so now this is leading up to the election, all right, mortgage rates decreased 8 of the last 11 presidential elections. I've said this on a couple of videos I've done. It makes sense, right? If things can be manipulated a bit, which I'm sure they could be, I don't know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right? But leading up to elections, I would think that they want the economy, or they want to give something back, whoever is in office now, right? Because they can control it maybe a little bit more, or who knows, I don't even know how it all works. But rates come down. So that could make people going into an election think, oh, the ones in office are helping mortgage rates come down so everything could be more affordable, right? So that could be some of the reasoning. But leading up to an election, like we're actually seeing right now, rates have dropped. And there's a jobs report Friday when you're going to see this, and they could come down again. So this makes total sense. So 8 of the last presidential elections leading up to election, rates have gone down, all right? And now if we're going to even say it, 9 of the last 12, okay, because this is this year, they're actually down. So look at that right there. And then what this means, really, what it's saying is, in terms of the housing market, real estate mortgages, there's some impact, but anything can impact it. But it's very, very minimal when it comes to mortgages, housing market, real estate. So there you have it. We're going to put this article in here, I think. I think Lindsay's going to do that or put something up here. I don't know. We want you to see the data. But again, just keep going with the flow, and you'll be fine. Later.
Hussbus, bus stop.